understand why that is doing what it's doing. Like, I don't get it. Pin message. Gosh dang. Have not gotten rid of my morning congestion yet. Oops. Let's make sure chat is working. That chat is working. That chat is working. And I don't think, I know Kick chat is not working, so. Unless you chat to me while I'm right here, but once I head out the door, I cannot read chat anymore. But yeah. But I mean, if you're on Kick, you can chat to me while I'm putting my shoes on and everything. I don't know why that overlay isn't working. My graphic, I should say, isn't working. You can see it if I transition from one camera to the other. You can barely make it out. Well, like for a quick second. I mean, it's very apparent, but you can see it for just a quick second. It is very chilly outside. I am going to try and knock out all my miles that I want to knock out on this first run this morning. And then depending on how I feel, we may run tonight as well, but no guarantees. Yeah. So I need I need to get everything ready here. I need my coat. I'm not gonna forget that my external battery pack, so that, because if we run as far as I want to run, this will be easily a 2 hour, maybe even 2.5 hour run. So. Should have enough water. Should be good there. Okay, we're gonna wear these gloves and hope that they're warm enough. Hopefully these are warm enough. Oof, my vest is starting to get stinky. I'm gonna have to wash it. Which, I did not do laundry this morning, so that would be why I went live earlier. I need my watch. I don't even have my watch on. Where the heck is it? I had to charge it last night, so it's a good thing I remembered that. Good thing I remembered that. Okay, now we're gonna put our hat on. And try and get it to where it'll fit okay. This is such a weird hat that does not fit to the shape of my head, which is a normal thing anyways. Okay. Put my battery in here. Oh, might use the restroom really fast and then we'll get going. Yeah, go use the restroom really fast and we'll get going. Okay. Should be good to go. I got my sunglasses because it is really sunny out there. Well, it's not like there's some high wispy clouds right now blocking the sun, but the straight above me is, because the sun's still sitting pretty low, but straight above me is no clouds. So we're gonna try and do this. I might have to walk for a little bit just to loosen up. Legs actually feel pretty good. Calf muscles are going a little extra this morning, but I think they'll loosen up. Did remember to update my shoe choice for today. I am wearing the Hyperion Tempos. I haven't worn them for a little bit. We're not going to be doing any tempo runs today, but based upon the route that we're going to run, I think they'll be a good shoe choice. Just because of the sole on the bottom is a little more durable than a lot of my other shoe choices. Okay, I'm gonna change camera so I can put my gloves on. Oh man. Okay, let's get going. Whew, it is every bit as chilly as the thermometer said it was. Okay, so today's route is going to be my normal not my normal, what I used to do during my marathon training, which was my 12-mile route. And it wasn't exactly 12 miles, but it was right. It was right around there. I want to say it was like 12 and a half miles or something like that. But we can always add a little bit more here or there depending on how, when we loop back to the park, on how we do there. I don't know what is going on with my... So last night, my upper back felt like it was on the verge of like having muscle spasms on our little run. By the time we got done, it felt okay. But like starting off, I could feel it. I feel it again today too, this morning. Oh, what's up with that? Those ladies back there, I don't know if you heard them, being like, oh, should we cheer you on? And it's like, no. But it made me think of that old Vine with the little girl yelling at the lady as she was, or not, it wasn't the lady, it was a guy, as he was just like slowly jogging by, and she was like, yay, way to go, you're winning at life. That's kind of what it made me think of. But we're just gonna continue on and see how well we can do here. Hopefully it doesn't go as tragic as yesterday morning, because I was pretty well wrecked right about the probably 7-mile mark on yesterday's run. I was pretty well wrecked after the previous day's 16 miles. But it takes usually about, the reason why, for me, this is what works. I never would ever tell one of my athletes that I coach to do this in a training block, but because I'm used to high mileage and I've done it before and it works for me and I listen to my body, so. But like my first week of my training block, I always try and do a high mileage week to kind of shock my body. Not really shock my body, but force it to adapt is really what is going on to some high miles that I haven't done for a long time. Now, I wouldn't normally recommend that for anybody who isn't used to that, because you're risking injury. And even as much as I've done it, I still listen to my body. And if I feel even just the slightest little niggle or anything, then I back off, because you got to do it smartly. But so far, it's actually, it usually takes, whenever I do this, it usually takes about 3 days for my body to kind of react to the training load. And so that would be today. And my legs actually don't feel too bad. There's a little bit of stiffness in them, but I mean, really, they don't feel tired. But so it'll be interesting to see how I do on today's run as we get about, right around that 8 to 9 mile mark. Because once we get around there, I have at least, 4 miles back. Like I can't not get back. It's not like I could, just cut it short at like the 6 mile mark and decide to turn around and go home, or, because at that mark, I am going home already. There's no cutting back, at least on this route. So it'll be interesting to see how this morning, how it goes. This isn't helping, being stuck at this long light during rush hour. Because my legs were starting to loosen up and now they're going to be all tight again. And I'm not one of those people that jogs in place. Because if you are one of those people, do what you want to do, but it doesn't help you out any. Like it doesn't. People will be like, oh, it'll keep my heart rate up, or stuff like that, and it's like it doesn't affect anything. Like if you're now, maybe if you're there for like a super long light or something, but it's not like you running in place is having any benefit at all. And it's not. Physiologically speaking, they've done lots of studies on this. It doesn't help you out. Now, if it's a mental thing for you, go ahead and keep doing it. But if you think you're doing it because, you're whatever reason, yeah. I remember when I first got into doing running and stuff, I would do it because I always thought that's what you had to do. Like I would see other people do it. But after being gone through so many different studies or educations, coaching education, where we've dove into a lot of that stuff, yeah, it doesn't do anything for you, physiologically speaking. Okay, we're gonna cut down this street, I'm pretty sure, if I remember right. Yep. Why is that guy all the way over in the middle of the road? It's like, now somebody, if they want to turn left in the road, they can't go because he's way over. It's like he thinks it's a one-way or something. Okay. I want to cut over, but there's all this traffic coming. Some of that. There we go. Now we go over. I used to complain about this last week, last couple of weeks since I started multicasting, and how I can't see the numbers if people are watching me anymore, that kind of stuff. And actually, it's kind of a cool thing too, because I'm not worried about numbers while I'm out here. Now, I look at the analytics afterwards when I get back, but still, Twitch is definitely my highest performing platform. But I still get 3 or 4. I mean, the other day I even had 5 people watching on YouTube. And being that my subscriber numbers are so low on YouTube, that's like a huge thing. But Twitch is definitely my highest kick. I mean, I just started on there like 3 days ago, so I only have 1 follower. But we'll see where this goes. I mean, I love my Twitch community, so I'm never going to go away from there. And I'm a Twitch affiliate, so that's where I'm monetized at, which I have yet to. I don't make any money off of it. I mean, since I've been an affiliate, I've only had 1 payout, so which is, the threshold is like $50, so that's like a tiny little bit of ad revenue since I have my ads turned down as low as I can on Twitch. And then the few, the couple subscribers that I got. But it's all good. $50 is a couple cups of coffee at Starbucks. So, what is that? Probably like seven lattes at Starbucks. Which is crazy. I remember when you could get a giant, what I call fancy coffee at Starbucks. I put my sunglasses on. It's bright out. Of course, now I'm going to have a hard time reading the chat on the phone, but it still can be done. But good morning. Why is my gimbal going all crazy? Okay, I'll try that out. You guys may not have noticed it, but I had to keep turning my wrist to the right in order for the gimbal to stay straight. Because it kept wanting to go to the left. And I'm like, why are you doing that? Well, there's the 1 mile mark. Actually not a bad time since we had to wait at the light for so long for a first mile. But yeah, remember when you could get like a giant fancy coffee for like $3? Now that same fancy coffee is like $6.50. Gosh dang, and I understand prices go up, but that's crazy. Oh, this is our buddy. It just looks like this most snobbish, egotistical prick I've ever met in my life. And I don't know if he really is in life, but he sure does carry himself that way. Definitely carries himself that way. Used to see him a lot last year, right around this time, because this is when I'd be out here. Well, I guess not this time last year, but last spring, I guess. It's when we were out here a lot. And by we, I mean me and you. I don't have a mouse in my pocket or anything. Oh, that wind is kind of going into it. Now that I'm more exposed out of the buildings, it's kind of a crosswind. We will be turning straight into it, as you'll be able to see which direction the flag is blowing here. But that breeze is cold. My cheeks are frozen and my nose tip is frozen. Oh. Okay, you guys got to remind me around mile 4 to 5-ish. Probably closer to mile 5. I need to take a nutrition. We're not bonking today. I actually brought some nutrition with me, so I should put us. Oh, I want to go straight. I almost went off that direction. But we're gonna go this way. Oh man. One thing that sucks about me is I hate being cold. Which is why this time of year I'm usually further south. But I just gotta hang out here for a little bit until I hear back on a few things, and then I can get my schedule completed. But so I would usually be further south right now. That being said, this morning I am dressed warmer than any runner normally would. Now I am doing easy miles, so I'm not gonna sweat as much as I would, but you know, if I was running more higher intensity, but I will begin to sweat here as I continue on more and more, which is nice because I'm staying warm. But eventually I will sweat through, and then as chilly as it is outside, I'm gonna start freezing. I was looking because they were supposed to get snow tonight, or that's what they've been saying all week. Now you'd never be able to tell that right now. It's supposed to be later tonight, so things can roll in pretty easy. Let's get out of this guy's way. And I've never seen anybody come down this street while I've been running down it. It's kind of weird. I think he's parking right there to go inside the auto shop here. Anyways, I think there's still a winter weather advisory. It's not a winter weather, like a winter storm warning. It's just a winter weather advisory. But it went from sounding like, oh, we're gonna get lots of snow, and now you click on the winter weather advisory and it says little to no accumulation. Like, it is gonna snow tonight, but it's only gonna be like a little skiff. Oh, there's a tiny little buck. Actually, I couldn't even though he's got a big body, he is not eligible to be shot. He is not even a forkhorn. The last, buck I shot a few years ago now, but it was like, because I'm not a trophy hunter, so I just shot the first one I found that was eligible, and that guy was just barely a forkhorn. Like, he was just legal. His little forks were maybe 2 inches long on each one, on each side. Actually, I think on one side it wasn't even, because it just needs to be on one side. You have to have, I want to say they're like inch or something, prominent forks. And he, like on one side you can see the fork, but I don't think it was that way. The other side he probably had 2.5, 3 inches. I'm not a trophy hunter. I just like putting meat in the freezer, which I still need to figure out. Like, the way the weather has been this week would have been perfect for me to be out there hunting, but I think I'm gonna try for the middle of next week, like maybe Tuesday, Wednesday, see if I can go get something. One of my mom's friends has still tons of elk steak and elk burger from last year, and always being like, you want some? And I didn't have the freezer space when I was there last, which would have been right before I left, or while it's right around Christmas was the first time she offered. And then right before I left for Europe, I was like, what am I gonna do with this? I can't do anything with it. I'm leaving for like months. But I would definitely take her up on the offer now, since I have actual freezer space in my apartment that I could store some stuff in, which I'm a little worried. My refrigerator is on its last legs. Of course there's going to be 2 cars coming at this intersection at the same time now that I'm getting here on a road that is hardly ever traffic. Like, there's hardly any traffic on, but the timing is always just that way, where it's like, oh, I'm coming to the intersection, no traffic up until that point. And it's always that way. Why is it always that way? That's just crazy to me. Oh, we will. Oh, so we'll see. Morning. Let's see what if I'm able to get out next week. This week ain't gonna happen. Well, I mean, I guess technically I could probably make, if I get all my miles in this morning, I could probably get out there this afternoon. But I still gotta, I don't even know if I can get into my area is the problem. Because, yeah, over on this side of my hunting district, which is not the most accessible, there's not much snow. Like, I could probably make it up, you know, to where I could get into some of the hunting area. But on the other side, which is where I normally like to go, there's a bit more snow. So I don't know if I can get up in there. And it is later in the season that it's not as busy anymore out there. Most people have already got something. But there is one area I would love to explore on this side that I think I have to check the regs on my cow tag for my elk. But I think I think my cow tag's good. But the other side is where there's more deer and all that kind of stuff. This side, there's a lot of wolves in the area, so there's not as much deer. Last time we came through here, it was pitch black dark, so it's kind of crazy coming through here now when it's all light out. So I haven't been through here for 8 or 9 months, other than the other night, 2 nights ago, when it was pitch black out. What's that car doing? They just drove down here, turned around, and now they're going back. Like, did you forget something, or are you just driving around? Or did you make a wrong turn? I don't know how you'd make a wrong turn. I do love running this time of year just because of the cold, crisp air, you know, just the smells, that kind of stuff. But I might have to go. I don't know, I'll have to see. So Saturday, I'm most likely going to go back down to Bozeman again. So I won't be streaming, which is usually the case anyways. Because usually, even when any other training block, that's my long run day way up into the mountains. So I can't get signal to stream even if I wanted to. But since I'm always going on group runs, I don't usually stream on Saturdays either. Again, most of the time we're up in the mountains. But, I mean, there's like 20-30 people there, and I don't want to have to get permission and consent, I guess, from each individual person. Because if one person says they don't want to be on camera, then I can't do it. Now, this last Saturday's run, I had good enough signal I could have done it the whole time, but I don't know where we're going this Saturday. But anyways, because of that, I digress. Because of that, I'm thinking about doing my long run tomorrow, because I won't be able to do it on Saturday. And I don't want to be any further. I can't do it on Sunday, because Sunday definitely just needs to be a nice, easy recovery run, just to loosen the legs up to be ready for the next week's training block. What's this guy doing? He's probably gonna hit me. Not paying attention. So that means either Thursday or Friday. Well, if I'm going to do the group run on Saturday, I don't want to do it on Friday either. Because no matter where it is, it's going to have vertical. It's going to be on a mountain somewhere. So I do not want to run along, do 20 plus miles on Friday and then have tired legs and try and keep up with the group. Because these are... I was going to say elite runners, and many of them are. Some of them are just really, really good runners that aren't sponsored or anything. They're not pros. So for me to keep up with them is difficult when I'm feeling fresh. But it is an awesome group. Definitely like my favorite out of any. Well, I guess that's not true. Green Lake over in Seattle, that running group, although it's huge. I mean, there's 10,000 plus members in the group, even though, you know, Saturdays is their big group run, which is like 200 people on most days. I love that group, but I just can't make it over there every day. Not any other group, including and that's just a true running group. So the people down in Bozeman that I run with, the group down there, is actually a club. So they're a USATF sanctioned club, which you need to be a part of for if you're going to compete in any USATF stuff. Although I'm an unaffiliated member in USATF, so I can still compete on the circuit. But I can't be part of like a team. So my old club that team I used to be on, over in Seattle. I can't be on their team anymore because I don't live there. So if I was to be on a team, it would be with Club down in Bozeman. There is also a team here, but I'm not gonna lie, I don't like their vibe. Bozeman vibe is way better. It's way better than the team I was on in Seattle. And when I was in DC, I did a couple things with a couple of the clubs over there. 'Cause there's, I want to say 3 different clubs over there that I knew about anyways, that I was able to run with, did some runs with, and I just didn't like their vibe either. Of course, the DC people are all straight road running. Okay, that's 5K. How was that 5K when last night we ran this exact same route so far? And I wasn't at 5K yet. It wasn't until I went around the corner here for about a quarter mile before I hit 5K. Oh man, I was hoping I was going to be able to rest for a little bit. Not going to lie. But no, I got the walk sign. Got the crossing light. I don't know what you call it. Crossing signal, maybe. I mean, I walk anytime if I really want to. This is all easy. I have no set pace this week. Although I am trying to keep it between 9 and 10 minutes. The other day, I started venturing a little faster than that and had to force myself to back down. But I've been right around that. Like right now we're doing a 9:18. Forget how noisy it is on this next to this road. I mean, it is the 3rd busiest road probably in Helena. I mean, it's the 2nd busiest that goes across east to west, or west to east, depending on what direction you're going. We're traveling east to west right now. Now, granted, it is nothing compared to when we would go over the 14th Street Bridge in DC, where you have 7 lanes, 6 lanes of traffic. That was noisy. But there was something I really liked about that too, like city running. I was actually talking to somebody on, okay, this person I don't think is turning right. I was talking to somebody at the group run this last week, and she spent a lot of time in the Boston area. I think she said she grew up around Boston, if I remember right, or at least lived there for some years anyways. But we were kind of talking about how refreshing doing like city running is sometimes. I don't get me wrong, I love just being up on a mountain trail, just being able to hear the sounds of nature and get in my own head, you know, and just see the beauty and just love it. But I don't know, there's something about running like city streets and like in a big city, I mean, that is really cool. I think it's, you know, a lot to do with the energy, you know. So many people bustling around, that kind of stuff. Oh, there's something about it. Wow, there's an old school Hummer for sale over here. A couple Jeeps too. I'd love to get a Jeep and freaking build that thing up. Well, does it take a lot of work? Actually, one of them looks like it has a lift kit already done to the suspension. It just has stock tires on it, which it looks kind of funny, but I'd love to have one. It would be very handy for, like, say, when I'm doing live streams up in Hard Rock and I can get all the way on top of Engineer Pass instead of half a mile from the top like I was able to this last time. Although if I put even just a 2-inch lift on my van, which is what I'm looking at doing, I'd easily, you know, a little bit, some bigger tires, I'd easily be able to make it up to the top. I mean, really, I probably could have made it to the top this last year, but I just didn't want to chance it because my transmission has been kind of iffy at times, so I did not want to push it. Oh man, that hill. Woo! That little hill right there. I got to me. Okay, we're at. Still got about another 1.5 miles before I have to take a gel. Okay, my water bottle is freezing at the top. That's nice. Man, this is. I can tell I'm going to hit that right around that 8 or 9 mark, 8 or 9 mile mark. And like right now, I still feel good. My legs are still a little stiff, but not too bad. They don't feel tired. They just feel a little stiff is all. But we're out of the breeze, but my cheeks and my nose still freezing. Hands actually don't feel too bad. I'm actually impressed. I thought, because I'm wearing my mid-weight gloves, that my hands would be too cold. Too bad. Although it probably is warm enough. It's probably not 29 degrees out anymore. It is supposed to get up into the 50s. just did the world's longest fart. It was like a 20-step fart right there. It's a little weird with the low as that sun is right now. With my sunglasses on, it's kind of it messes with my senses a little bit. And actually, we're running this way for a long time, so I could probably take my sunglasses and take them off, because I won't need them until we start turning back this direction again. What the heck? How did my watch? That was the weirdest thing. My watch changed screens on me somehow. I don't know how that's even possible. Well, that was the 4-mile mark. So we'll just go a little bit further. Maybe get to up here to Montana Wild, and then we'll take a gel. Probably gonna do an awesome sauce, because then I'll be good for the rest of the run. Because I think I have an awesome sauce and a canterbury. And if I do a canterbury, then probably another 4 or 5 miles I'll need to take another one. But awesome sauce is twice as much calories as the canterbury. So I think I'll take the awesome sauce. And then if needed, I can always take the canterbury. Oh. Something upwind from me does not smell the greatest. I don't know what it is. It does not smell the greatest. I doubt there's a dead animal carcass up there or something along the railroad tracks upwind, because trains hit deer too. Man, that was rank, because now I don't smell it. It is hard. I don't know if I was still alive at that time. I don't think I was. No, I wasn't. So yesterday morning, when I was running down 11th Street, looking towards Mount Helena like we are right now, and the whole time I'm looking at it, I'm like, for there to be no snow this time of year is unusual. I guess not necessarily unusual, because it usually gets snow and then it melts, gets snow and then melts, because it's not like the top of it is only at less than 6,000 feet, like just under. So it's not like a super high mountain for this time of year anyways. Once you hit like December, then yeah, you're pretty much guaranteed it's going to be just packed in snow. But seeing it without snow and not really, I mean, I could always go run up there, but it doesn't fall into what I need to do for this training block. So I took a picture of it, as you can see it, and on my Instagram I mentioned that. Oh, I need to plug my phone in. But this training block, in order for my legs to handle everything that needs to be done, I need to pound the concrete versus the trails. Okay, gotta hit the button. Okay, we should be good to go. Put my glove back on. Hold on to my cable so that it doesn't bounce around and get caught on things, even though it still bounces around a little bit. Definitely doesn't bounce around as much. Oh man, I gotta blow off the snot out of my nose. I'll do that once I get through this little trailer park area. Another thing I'm thinking about getting for my van, and I kind of want to reach out to this van lifer YouTuber, just ask her questions about her wood stove that she has in her van. It's like the perfect size. I'm gonna try to blow my nose out. And everything, so it's like the perfect size and everything for heat and all that. It's just a small thing. She installed it herself, and she actually has it set up to where she is able to pull it out in the summertime, and then we're gonna install it in the wintertime. Curious on how she has her roof set up in order to do that. Like, what does she use in the summertime to cover up what would where the smokestack comes out of the chimney, I guess. Okay. Actually time this. Oh, you're gonna let me go? Thank you. It would have been timed perfect if she just wanted to keep going too. But normally you don't get people to stop like that. That was nice. Very nice of her. Always make sure you acknowledge those people that do that. So we're gonna see what our mileage is up here, because one of the things I'm thinking about doing to get a little bit extra mileage is to run around Spring Meadow Lake. So might do that on our way back. We're not going to do it on the way out. But we might do it on our way back. Although it actually probably would be easier to do it on this direction versus the other direction. But I guess it's about the same. It don't really matter. Actually, we're close enough to 5 miles. I'm going to find a nice square post here to put you guys on and take a gel. Okay, none of these look so good. That one's skinny. That one's skinny, skinny, skinny. This one might not be too bad. This looks like the biggest. There we go. That'll work. And we're going to do a gel. Take our awesome sauce here. Oh, because we are really close to the 5 mile mark. This is going to make for a really slow mile. We're at 4.91. I like that one because it's 180 calories, but and it doesn't taste bad. Okay, we're gonna change you back. It's apple cinnamon flavor, kinda. And that fence is kinda loose. Put my tripod back together again here. So it actually tastes pretty good, but when I'm like doing races like with ultras and stuff, I can't do but 1 or 2 of those, like 3 tops during a race, because it's so sweet tasting that, which would be why it has so many calories in it. It is a little bit higher sugar content than a lot of the other ones, but I would rather do, like, during a race, I'd rather do 2 Canterberries than 1 awesome sauce. But if I had 2 Canterberries today, that's what I would have done. But I only brought 1. Okay. I talked about earlier when we were taking off how my calf muscles are kind of going extra today. And my right one really hasn't loosened up yet. I'm a little worried about that because that's the one I had problems with my Achilles last spring when I was about halfway into my training block. Started creeping up into the higher mileage again. But that was mostly because I was doing a lot of vert. I'm not doing any vert, although my run yesterday, remember how I was talking about how it was like, felt like you're always going uphill on that route. That thing had over 1,000 feet of vert. When I got done, I looked at and if you look at the profile, it's kind of crazy. Go look at my Instagram post. You can see the route profile, like elevation profile on my Instagram post. It was kind of crazy. Now, if I was running in the mountains, 10 miles in distance is nothing when it, or 1,000 feet is nothing when it comes to 10 miles. You get over 1,000 feet climbing up Mount Helena, which is only 3/4 of a mile from the trailhead up to the top. If you take the steep route, I guess. But if you don't take the steep route, if you take the easiest route, you're talking about 2.25 miles. Still with, that, I guess it's about 1,300 feet of vert. I don't know what is bouncing around in my vest or something, but I hear like the tiniest little like tinking noise, like some metals, two metal things are kind of hitting each other. I don't know what it is, but it keeps making me think I have somebody running up from behind, and I keep glancing back there and there's nobody running up from behind. Okay, so when we come back, we're actually going to go, we're going to go down this a little ways to where that other signpost is right there, and then drop down onto Spring Meadow, and then we'll run all the way around and come back to Montana Wild. And I really got to pee. I could just pee off into the grass over here. I don't see anybody around us. But also there's a pit toilet up here I could just stop at. It's kind of weird. This last, like, other than yesterday morning, like the 3 or 4 days before that, I felt like I was back as far as my streaming again. My numbers were up, had people chatting constantly, or at least on the Twitch side. It was awesome. But yesterday morning and this morning, I have 0 people chatting. Come on, people. Dang, that bridge is actually kind of frosty and very slippery. You can see the frost on it. But I can ramble on about anything to myself. It's nice if other people are chatting as well. Like last night, I had a short little run, had pretty good, not like a bunch of people on watching, but at least I had a couple chatters. The night before that, I had lots of people on there. It's kind of crazy, actually. Oh. But even like Sunday morning, I had quite a few people. Monday, I even had a few people. Like Monday morning, I should say. until you come from this direction, you don't really realize how big this park is. It's kind of crazy, actually. Kind of crazy. Okay, I'm gonna set you guys down over here so I can utilize the restroom facilities. Oh, somebody didn't pick up their dog poop. That's nice. Oh, this guy's out here, what do you call it, skate skiing? On this trail? What? That is ridiculous, buddy. Like, you can barely move for one, because skate skiing is designed for asphalt or concrete, not gravel. Whatever. You do you. And you can tell he's struggling too. I mean, granted, this is fairly hard packed right now, but it's still, it is not asphalt or concrete. Like, I've never seen somebody do that before on something like this. Now, I'm sure they probably make those that have like off-road wheels, I guess you would say. Kind of like they make like skateboards that have the bigger off-road wheels. Like the one-wheel stuff, they have off-road versions of. And I'm guessing they probably do on that too, but that was not an off-road version. But, you know, that's what you enjoy. That's what you enjoy. Put my sunglasses back on, because for whatever reason, it looks a lot brighter out here, even though I'm not facing the sun. It's definitely making me have to squint a little bit. And I can see my floaters. I have really bad floaters in my eyes, always have. I take that back. I haven't always had. I think I didn't really notice them until after the first time I went to NTC in the military. Because I didn't have sunglasses or anything really there. I had a pair of like cheapos, but that was before the military issued things like that. I mean, we had the old school sand wind dust goggles that had a tinted lens that you could put in them, but those things were so big and bulky, you're not wearing them around all the time. They were designed for when you're driving or, you know, moving around in a vehicle, like traveling in a vehicle, not wearing around every day, because they're like oversized ski goggles is what those things were. mean, the newer version is better, but it's still like wearing ski goggles. But military also issues some actually fairly nice iPro that are more, you know, they're Oakleys or Wiley X's, you know, more fashionable, let's say, but still meet the eye protection standards. So you could take, you know, a fragment to them and probably not going to lose an eye depending on what it is, you know, that type of stuff. I'm running a little bit slower, average pace-wise. Well, so I'm going to go to the bathroom, and that kind of stuff didn't help, but I'm not running between 9 and 10 minutes for an average, that's for sure. I'd actually be at about a 10 and a half right now, average. That's okay. Like I said, I'm not too concerned about pace. And the slower you go, more time on feet I get. I don't remember who it was. Some elite pro athlete mentioned it. I gotta walk and think about this. I can't run and think about it. Try to figure out who it was. And this is uphill, by the way. Very, very gradual uphill. Like in the next quarter mile, you're talking maybe 40 feet of gain. That's how gentle this uphill is, but I can feel it after being 6 miles in. A little over 6 miles. Yeah, I can't remember who it is. But anyways, he mentioned that, you know, say like take a 100K race, and he has, when you think of it as a level of effort, you know, if he's out there like not redlining, but, you know, one step below redlining, and finishes a 100K in, you know, 9 hours. I mean, it depends on the 100K. A lot of them are a lot faster than that, but we'll just say 9 hours. And then, you know, these mid-pack, back of the pack people are doing the same thing, you know, just a step under redlining. If they're out there for 18 hours, 17 hours, whatever it happens to be. I guess there's only a few races where you can actually meet that time frame. Well, we'll just say 17 hours. He has a tremendous amount of respect for those people, and I'm the same way, because, you know, he's, for lack of better terms, redlining it for half the time that they are, and they keep going. Like, think about that. Don't ever give people that run these, you know, 6-hour marathons, don't look down on them, because holy cow, they're out there for 3 hours longer than I am, putting out the same level of effort for twice as long. I mean, come on. That is just ridiculous. Those people are rock stars. there's a reason why, you know, people like, I'll just say, throw Seth D'Amore out there, has not been able to successfully throw together a good ultra, because he can redline it for 2.5 hours and just be you know, finishing in the top podium. But any longer than that, he can't do it. Yet all these people that are out there doing these ultras are doing it. And I don't mean finishing podium, I mean that same level of effort, you know. They're definite rock stars. Oh, there's the main gate for the military base right there. Haven't been out there forever. That's where the gym is that I use. I should, well, next week I'll start going out there, but one of my friends who retired from the military shortly before I left, who's now like, gosh dang, probably 60, 62 maybe years old. And he was high enough ranking that he definitely does not need the money, anything like that. Morning. Oh, no. Happy puppers. Gotta love the happy puppers. Definitely, I mean, he's well off. Let's put it that way. He's doing well in retirement. I mean, he's made great investments, all that kind of stuff. And he, this last month, started working again. He got himself a little, I don't think it's a contractor. I think he's like a GS Title V employee out here in that big building right there. Because he was bored. He just finally got bored. So it wasn't like he needed the money. But I should just venture out there and have lunch with him or something. Because there is, well, I don't know if there still is. Or I guess I should say, I don't know if it's still, if it's open, let's say. But there is a little cafe inside the building for people to have lunch and stuff. But it's, if anybody knows anything about the military, you know, it's all outside vendors that are bid on contracts through AFES, because it's operated by AFES, to be out there. So you never know, sometimes contracts end and then it takes them a while to find another vendor that is wanting to go in there, because it's not let's just say the profit margin is, to be successful, is incredibly small. Because if you know anything about soldiers, they don't have a lot of money. So they're not going to spend, you know, $15 at lunch when they can just go over to the PX and get a hot dog and an energy drink for $3.50. I mean, so, because AFES, if you bid on the contract, AFES, I mean, you have your baseline costs, but AFES gets a cut out of everything too. And so that gets into your profit margin if you're trying to keep your prices low. Again, because if you're going to get any business, you're going to have to do that. Like 3 or 4 years ago when I was there, the guy that had the contract, he had some good food, and it wasn't too pricey. Like breakfast, I mean, you got a hell of a whatever his breakfast deal was, you know, like a big ass omelet, like a 3-egg omelet with some hash browns and toast for, you know, $5 or whatever it happened to be. My favorite, I don't remember what he called it, but because he has some Hispanic heritage, and he had some sort of smothered omelet, or occasionally like a smothered, big ass smothered breakfast burrito that had a green chili sauce that he made. It was so good. That thing, man, I would just demolish the hell out of it. That's actually why, when I first lost my 6-pack, that's why, because I started eating there almost every day. I should see if I can weasel my way into wonder when their holiday, they always do a employee holiday luncheon, so everybody that works out there, and even other offices like the governor's office, any state office, are welcome to come out there. Well, I shouldn't say any state office. Any state office is tied to the military base. So DHS wouldn't be able to go out there, but like the Highway Patrol would be able to, because their communications office is out there. So anybody from Highway Patrol would be welcome. Anybody from the governor's office would be welcome, because of essentially he's the commander-in-chief of the National Guard out there. And then the Navy usually shows up. The very small contingent of Marines, they usually show up, and then you usually get a really big Army Reserve and Air Force contingent, because that is a Joint Force headquarters. So Joint Forces refers to not just one. It's not just Army, Army, Air Force, Navy, whatever. So it's actually a really cool deal. And then all the civilian contractors, and good morning, and GS employees, all that kind of stuff. Up there, it's a really cool deal. I used to work it, so I always handled carving all the turkeys and everything. That, I mean, you're talking anywhere from 15 to 20 turkeys I would carve, and however many hams, that kind of stuff. They always had usually a couple different proteins, you know, the more traditional proteins for Christmas time. And it was all put on by the MWR out there, as well as it was a group effort. I would hate to have been the person that had to manage the funds of all that and the audit that went together afterwards. If anybody's ever handled MWR funds, what they call non-apportioned funds, the auditing side is a nightmare when you start mixing things together. And so a lot of it is donated by the community. Usually the turkeys and the ham and stuff is all donated locally by the community, i.e. I think last year I was there, the vendor that did the cafe, he donated all the hams, I think, and then one of the local grocery stores donated all the turkeys, and then it was a huge potluck as well, so people would just bring different, depending on which department you're with, would depend on what you would bring. So, or your last name sometimes. Depends on how they did it. They would change it up a lot. But Army Reserve would be in charge of bringing, say, bread rolls. Navy was in charge of, green salads or whatever, type of stuff. Because you're talking, 500-600 people coming through for that luncheon. So it was a big effort. I loved being a part of it. So all that being said, I need to figure out how I can weasel my way out there. Just show up and get some food. See if they'll kick me out or not. Maybe they need an independent contract to work on something for consulting, maybe. Maybe they want to live stream it. And I will volunteer my time to live stream it. They do cool things, like even usually they'll have a group of soldiers soldiers or airmen, I guess, or seamen, that'll, never any Marines. That's why I'm not including them. Because when I say a small contingent, it's a small contingent. I don't even know I think it's a recon unit of 12 individuals or something, and only 2 of them work full-time out there. I think it's like a Marine, what do you call it, a Marine Reserve unit or something. I don't know. But anyways, they'll get together and form like a little band and play live Christmas music or holiday music, not necessarily Christmas music, but just holiday music. It's kind of a cool deal. And it was always a fun deal. I always liked the fact that I was in the kitchen, because one, you could always sneak things, while you're in the back eating, sneak little snacks every now and then. Oh, speaking of which, I should message Tom, find out when the NCO breakfast is. NCOs put on a breakfast every year for everybody's invited, but it's mostly for the retirees to show up. So that's usually around the beginning of December. So maybe I'll have to stay here through then, as long as the weather holds out. Which there was something else going on around that weekend. Oh, CIM is going on that weekend. So I would guess and say that it's probably going to be the December 8th. I'll bet you. Probably the Friday after. It's never the first weekend. It's usually the Friday after the first weekend. Depending on the timing of the first weekend. But typically it's during a weekend, the first weekend of the month. And the training center that they use, because it has the biggest dining facility, is usually what they use. Okay, we're gonna turn left. We're actually gonna... How the heck does my watch keep changing? What the hell? I don't know how it does that. Oh, we just had 8 miles, so this will put us... we might actually get all our mileage if we run around Spring Meadow here. But anyways, the dining facility that they use on drill weekends is really busy usually. So that's why they can't do it on a drill weekend. Because I mean, you're talking a lot of people, a lot of units show up on Friday or even Thursday night. And then, so there's, I don't even know how many you can hold in that building. But I bet you can do probably 1,000 people in that building as far as the lodging side of the house goes. I have definitely slowed my pace down now. Like I told you, I was going to get to that 8 or 9 mile mark, which we just had 8, and I can feel it. So my pace has slowed down quite a bit. I'm talking like 10 something, easily a minute slower than what we were doing at the beginning. Over a minute slower. I can't believe how high this lake is still. This time of year, it is not usually that high. That means in the springtime, if we get a decent winter, this thing is going to be the most full it's been in years. I mean, it was already the most full it's been this last year because of as much precipitation they got in the wintertime and everything. But, oh man. I'm definitely feeling it. Definitely feeling it. Please do not handle the wildlife. So these geese over here, don't go over and try and pet them. Which, I don't know how it is in, well, I know how it is in DC. I don't know about everywhere else in the nation, but here in Montana, these geese will chase you down. So the high water mark, you can see where the high water mark would be. But usually this time of year, it is so low that this little inlet here doesn't even exist. See, you got this geese over here. I was just talking about how they will chase you down and attack you. He's eyeballing us. See, look at him. He's like, get away from me. Don't you dare come over here. That's what he's saying. I'm actually getting kind of warm now. My sunglasses are fogging up on the inside. I just have to take them off even though we're running into the sun. Now the train is crossing we're getting ready to cross the intersection over here in the country club. That's the country club right there. The big old golf course back there. And there's half the course is on one side of the train tracks, half the course is on the other side of the train tracks. So they have to blow their horn right there. And pretty much continue to do it through this whole section, because then they're getting ready to cross the road over there where we crossed. So swim at your own risk. I didn't even know you could swim here. It's good to know. Okay, see, it's talking about how cold it is. That's frozen. Now granted, this isn't as deep as that portion of the lake, but that is all frozen over. That tells you how cold it is. Tells you how cold it is. Usually you can see a bunch of turtles here. Well, in the summertime you can see a bunch of turtles. And you can go fishing in this lake. It's actually really good for fishing. But this is probably the first time I've been around here for, I don't know, a year or two, I would say. That was kind of awkward. I don't know what that guy was doing. But then we ran by him and then he immediately started running. So now he's behind us, running. I don't know if he's trying to pass me or not. But if he does, he does. I'm definitely not going to push myself. We're just going to maintain our... Oh, I actually got to slow down. Holy cow. I just glanced down. I'm running an 8:10 mile. There we go, that's better. Now we're at a 9:10. Much better. Well, that guy's not even keeping up with me at that speed, so I just kind of glanced over my shoulder. He is already a little ways behind us. He is running. I would guess he's probably doing closer to a 12-minute mile, probably. Yeah, he's probably doing probably about an 11-minute mile. I am surprised I don't see, especially when we're out there at 10 Mile Park, I don't see as many peeps that I know from the military out there running. Which I guess in a way makes sense, because there's like in the office that I used to work out there, I know maybe two people. The sergeant major and the 06 full-bird colonel in that office. Full-bird colonel was my lieutenant when I deployed with when I was down at the battalion. Well, actually, he was a captain by then. When I first got there, he was a lieutenant, but he was a captain. By the time we deployed, he was a captain. And the sergeant major, I've known him for many years. Me and him actually came on board as ADRs at the same time, or really close to the same time. And now he's a sergeant major in that office. Okay, now we gotta go this way, I'm pretty sure. They've changed this up a bit. Okay, yeah, there's the dock. This never used to be concrete though, so I think this is where we want to go. Guess we're gonna find out. It's heading in the right direction, so I think this is right. Well, that's actually cool. I have a photographic memory, so I'll read signs and then go by them, and then later on, let's see, we want to go this way. Later on, I will then replay back what I just saw. And there's a Jane Beasley Memorial little bird watching park right there. And Beasley is very renowned in this town. I think the store still exists. Maybe it doesn't anymore. It used to be called Birds and Beasley, maybe, I think. And it was a store that catered to like bird feeders, bird whatevers, and things like that. It's not too far away from where I live. I don't know if it's still there or not, because I haven't really noticed. But definitely a staple in the town. Can't decide if... So going back, we're going to be at about... maybe hit the 14-mile mark. I don't know. I don't know what this guy's doing. I think he followed me up here just to follow me up here. That's the guy that was running slow behind us. I think we might get to 14. No. I know we're at least going to get to 13. We might get to 14 now. So I can't decide if I should take that other gel or not, because my legs are starting to feel it. And I don't know what they have going over here. So this is they're most famous for rehabilitating birds of prey. So eagles and hawks and stuff that are from the wild, and then they release them back into the wild. I saw a vet tech out here earlier when we ran by. So I don't know what they got in here, but there's a bunch of people that are wandering around. So I'm trying to drink a bunch of water, because I've been not doing such a good job of that. That is why we are walking right now. I don't know if you guys can hear me drinking the water or not. But this is a fantastic place. I mean, it's operated by the Montana Fish and Game people. And they do a lot of good things. I mean, they'll take in any animal that needs rehabilitation, but primarily this place is focused on birds of prey. Which is what this is. These big buildings are, basically that's what they are. And then they have a big cage area back there too. Okay, so now we just got to take this all the way back to Centennial Park, which again I think is, I don't remember, we just ran this but I didn't actually look and see how far we were, or how far back it was. I want to say it was at least 4 miles, which would put us at 13 miles. Why, hello! Morning. Yeah, there's a good old puppers there. Good puppers. Right to our right here is kind of a cool place. The guy that developed it, he has a spot. I don't know, did he actually build his spot out? He did pretty good. His actual spot, he just, because he's a nomad, and so he built like a big old porch and stuff that he can just pull his RV next to for when he is up here. But then he developed the rest of it and opened it up to van lifers to be able to stay out there. There's like four other spots, I want to say. Look like there's only 2 people there right now, but it's fairly inexpensive. Like, I can always go out to the military base because they have a small RV campground out there, but at some point of the year they actually close it because the water freezes and stuff, so they can't have it open because it has about half of it has full hookups and then the rest of it is all primitive. So there's maybe, I don't know, 12 full hookup sites and then probably 5 primitive sites. And then, but other than that, there is not a campground in this town. There used to be a KOA at one time and that closed down. So options are very limited. So it was really cool that guy did that. And he's cheaper. He would be cheaper than if I went out to the fort. I guess what I was trying to say. It's like, I want to say 30 or 35 bucks a night out at the fort, which if you can qualify to get out to the fort, usually, military stuff is a lot cheaper. I can go up to Malmstrom and stay in their lodging, which is really super nice lodging. I mean, it's an Air Force base, but just really crazy, nice lodging for 42 bucks a night, which is half the price of the cheapest rat hole that you can find for a hotel up in Great Falls, let alone an actual hotel. So for the campground to be the same price as that, it just blows my mind how they're able to, and they're never full just because of that. They'll get people that'll stay there for a week, but usually there's only maybe 3 or 4 people there throughout the summertime at any given moment. Oh man. I'm gonna see how much charge we have on the phone, see if I can unplug this cable. We are at 83%. Probably might be able, oops, I dropped my glove. Set you guys down because I gotta pick stuff up. we go. I was getting tired. If I have it plugged in, I can only hold the gimbal with my right arm. It's starting to get, like now when I straighten my arm, it's been bent holding on to the gimbal for so long that like straightening my arm out my bicep is like in pain, because it's like, what are you doing? Why are you straightening me out? So now I can carry it in my other side for a little bit. Military, here comes a military caravan right now. I wonder where they're going. That's got to be a Army Reserve unit, because that is old ass looking Humvees. There's very few Humvees in the National Guard's arsenal out here anyways. That was like an old two-seater. I mean, it had a fresh coat of paint. That's why I said it was Army Reserve, because their shop out here does a lot of that. Because equipment doesn't get used that much. So in order for them to stay busy, they have to come up with other ways. So they're constantly like refreshing paint jobs and that kind of stuff on on their vehicles. And that was definitely a new paint job. Because I think they're essentially like a depot level place out here. Oh man, this guy up here looks like he's moving out pretty fast. Faster than me, that's for sure. I'd be freezing if I was him. Oh, he must be, he looked college age for the first of all. He was wearing Carroll College stuff, and they have a pretty decent cross-country team. So he's probably out here, might have got invited to, as an individual, to nationals or something. And I'll tell you what, now Montana State has always had a good track and field program. That's where I went. Probably the world's shortest lived college career. But that was one of the reasons why I went there, was because they had a decent track and field program. Mostly when it came to like the field events. And I was a decathlete. That's, one of the things that I went there for. I didn't even know up until like 4 years ago that they had a cross-country program, which, I mean, back then they probably did too. But you never really heard about it. And as of late, their cross-country team has been pretty good. Like, I mean, you're talking a cross-country team, college that is in the same division as NAU. So the fact that the last at least 3 years that I can remember that I've been really paying attention to it, but they could have been there more than that as well. But at least the last 3 years, the team, I'm not talking just individuals, the team, or at least the men's team, I'm pretty sure the female team too, women's team has qualified for nationals. Like this weekend is nationals for college cross country, and they're there. I think they were ranked like number 25 or 26 or something like that, which is nothing like NAU, who's, you know, always up there in the top 3, top 5 or whatever, because man, they just got an awesome program. But the fact that Montana State, you never hear about, is up there. This is awkward. It's always awkward when you have an older couple like this that are hogging, and actually I think it's 2 older ladies based upon looking from this far away, but the one on the left could be a guy. You never know. But they're hogging the whole trail as if, and this is what you see in Helena all the time, they hog the whole trail as if no situational awareness, you know, of people possibly wanting to pass them. So it's like always so awkward to come up behind them, because they don't ever, I don't know, I think we will. Good morning.
Morning.
Hi, puppers. Some good looking Weimaraners there. Good looking puppers. Gosh dang, there's still some frost on this bridge too. At least they had, I think it was because the dogs looked back at me, so the lady on the right that had the dogs, she looked back and saw that I was coming up. So it was 2 ladies. Thought it was. But in this town, they'd like have 0. Most of the older people on the trail have 0 situational awareness of anybody else on the trail but them. And typically they're moving slower than everybody else. So you would think that they would be used to people coming up behind them and passing them. Like, you'd think that would happen all the time. Yet somehow they still just have 0. Of course, some people just have 0 situational awareness. It doesn't matter. And maybe it's just me being in the military, where you have to maintain always situational awareness. They just drill that into you. What are we at here? I'm not at 2 hours. Okay. My stream's been up for over 2 hours, but why does my watch keep changing? I don't understand that. Like, there's nothing that my watch is rubbing onto that would turn my dial. I don't get it. Because that's the only way it can move, is by my dial getting turned. Because that's how I have it set right now. Somehow it keeps changing screens on me. But I said I didn't know how fast I was going to be moving. So this would be anywhere from 2 to 2.5 hours. That's right about where we're going to be at. It's probably 2.5 hours. There's a part of me that really wants to turn at the college. What are we at? Yeah, I think we gotta go to the park. Because there's part of me that wants to turn to the college and just go that way, but I think we're gonna need the extra. So we'll just go all the way down to the park and head up. So it won't be a lot extra, but it'll be about half a mile probably extra. Oh, I can tell that I am getting a little hungry. I probably should have done that other gel, because my tummy now is telling me that it wants some food. But now that we're so close, I'm not gonna, we're probably 2.5 miles away. I'm not gonna do a gel, because I wouldn't get any benefit out of it. By the time I digested it, I'll be done with a run to where the calories would benefit me. And I got plans for a nice tasty breakfast this morning. I mean, I ate a little something before the run this morning, but I always have 2 breakfasts, a lunch, sometimes a mid-afternoon snack, and then a dinner. So what the timing looks like here. Of course, there's a lot of traffic. I guess I'm just gonna have to hit the light because there's so many people here. That guy's gonna stop, but this guy doesn't look like he's going to. I hate hitting that light just because for whatever reason. Now people are supposed to stop even without hitting that light. Then you have that guy right there that he didn't even look like he was gonna stop. He didn't give a shit. He could have cared less if there was a crossing light on. But usually I can just run through there, hop through traffic, but that was just a steady flow. Oh man. And I gotta figure out if I can get this stupid thing, this overlay working. I don't know why it's not working. I don't know if maybe the Streamlabs mobile can only push a certain number of overlays. Because the other day when I tried to put the chat on there, so that I could read try and read Kick, it wouldn't show up. So I don't know. I just don't know. Because I do have, each thing on there counts as an overlay. So my follower account, it counts as an overlay. And my morning. And my the new follow thing counts as an overlay. And then the shoe thing down at the bottom is 2 separate overlays. So I don't know, maybe you can only have a certain number that it can push out. But if that was the case, you'd think it wouldn't allow you to add another overlay. And I guess I could test that theory by just typing another text overlay and see if it shows up or not. But like my little rotating banner that used to rotate my website, my YouTube, and my Instagram, all that, that stopped working about a month ago. So I just removed it because I couldn't get it to work. But that doesn't even work on my desktop either for some reason. And actually, I don't think it's a Streamlabs thing. I think it's a Twitch thing. Because they came out with a terms of service that you had to limit that stuff to like something ridiculous, like 3% of your screen or whatever. And so I think they did something that makes it to where that doesn't show up. I really need to just go to, I don't know where would be the best place, probably Walmart, to buy myself a couple cheap bookcases so that I can unpack the rest of my boxes, because that's the only thing that's limiting me. I just don't have a place to put anything. And one box is nothing but books, like all my cookbooks and everything. So and then I need to buy a couple more storage totes, like regular totes that I can put some of my electronic stuff in, that so when I go on location I can just throw them in my van instead of having to get everything together and then take 4 trips out to my van, because I don't have a good way of doing it. Oh, this hill. Oh man, we're just gonna walk up this. We're just gonna walk up this. Oh, I am pretty well tanked. We got, I don't know, maybe a mile and a half left, but I am tanked. This is, oh, that doesn't help either that the wind is blowing straight from the mulch pile here. It just is rank. I need to walk for a little bit. That hit my stomach and almost made me vomit. The smell. Last spring when we were here, they did a really good job of mulching it down, because they do that once a year, but that pile is getting kind of big again. And I don't know how many of these things they take in all the time. These old appliances and stuff, old metal things, because just in the last week, they've been tearing those things down and throwing them in the bin for recycling. Like pretty much constant, yet they still have a huge thing there. Oh, my leggies, everybody. I'm feeling it. This is going to be a rough mile and a half, but we're going to get her done. We're going to get her done. Not quite as far as I was hoping, but that's okay. Might still have to go for a short little run again tonight, which I might do anyways, or at least a walk, because it is kind of fun going out here at nighttime and just doing a quick little 5K of sorts. Walking actually might be better, because then it'll just loosen up the legs instead of like tiring them out and stuff. I want to get some, wonderful. Yeah, I think I'll just run to Walmart and see what they have for that. But another thing I'd like to get is some of those shelves that what do they call them, like floating shelves or whatever. See if I can put a couple of those up by where my TV is, because all that electronic stuff, I'd like to just be able to, like my router and modem, I'd like to just be able to put up on a shelf instead of all the cables and everything being all, like my TV looks like a mess. Let's just put it that way, because everything's just all around there. So it'd be nice to have some shelves up there. And then run over to Lowe's, and I think I want to build like a little thing to put my monitor stand on that'll boost it up just an extra couple inches. And I would just build something like that really easy. Buy myself a 2-foot piece of basically like a 1x8 or something. It'd be plenty big enough, and then just cut two pieces like 2 inches long on each end, and then just screw it down, make a little shelf. Would be perfect. Well, the city's changing all their signs, it looks like, to the wintertime stuff, most likely. This little curb right here is so dangerous when it's snow covered. I have ran into that, tripped over it so many times. Because if you just go straight on the sidewalk, you would never guess that there's a curb, a random curb right there. I think we're gonna have to go down to the library again in order to at least get 13 miles. So that is only not even quite 4 miles from way up there. I thought it was at least 4, but it's not even 4. Oh man, this uphill getting to me. And it's all uphill all the way back. All the way back. Well, except if we go down to the library, coming back this way, it'd be downhill. But if I just go straight home, it's uphill. We're gonna be going past, most likely, because we just hit the 12-mile mark. And it is less than a mile from here. Oh man. Ooh, I can smell something. Whatever it is down there, it smells like I don't know what. Street sweeper maybe? Maybe it's the smell of like the stuff rubbing on the concrete. Kind of like a burning, not like a burning rubber smell, but if you know what like a fan belt is made of, when a fan belt starts to smoke, that's what it smells like. What it is down there that I hear. I can hear it. It should be right there, but can't see it. Oh, this feels steep. This is the steepest part for sure. Oh, now this is still uphill, but now it feels like you're almost going downhill because we made it through the steepest part. Why is my gimbal going way off to the right? It's like it knows what direction the street is. And I keep hitting it to the left and it's not doing anything. Oh, now you're gonna go to the left. Stupid thing. Definitely have not been drinking enough water this whole time. That's for sure. Because now my mouth and throat are a little dry. I don't know what kind of facility this is right here that we're running by, but you're not even allowed to take smartphones inside of there. And they have cameras all around it. I always thought it was just a telecommunications building for like a commercial telecommunications building. And it probably is a telecommunications building, but it's probably like for some governmental agencies or something instead of normal stuff. I actually could go, or I could have gone. Now there's a car coming. But there was for the longest time no cars. Okay, that's gonna change again so I can go. Yeah, we're definitely. Why is that so far off? Like, I thought for sure that it was always over 4 miles. It's not even 4 miles from there to here. It just makes no sense to me. It makes zero sense. And it definitely feels like it should be more than 4 miles. I used to do this every day. Like, I guess that does kind of make sense, because if I take the shortest route from here to the front gate at the fort is only 4.7. So I guess that would make no, that still seems like it would be, because that's going short. That's the shortest distance. That's not even going that way. It is definitely not 1.7 miles from Montana Wild to the front gate, is it? Well, it'd have to be more than that if it's shorter. I don't know. Maybe it is, I guess. Oh, it would still have to be longer than that, because I don't know. I don't get it. Just makes no sense to me. Sure we don't get hit. Well, I told you guys my tattoo artist is moving, which is going to be more inconvenient for me, because it was nice being able to just walk out my apartment and go about 100 feet and go to my tattoo artist. I mean, I get it with their location and space that they're moving into is going to be way better and more convenient for most people. So I get it. But this is all about me. I think we're just going to turn here, and whatever we get, we get. I don't think it's going to be, I don't think we're going to be at 13 miles, but whatever. I mean, I could always just run a little bit further past, but to get at least 13. One thing I've always wanted to do here is have a little hot dog cart in this area for lunchtime, or even at nighttime, because you would think because you get quite a bit of people down here, and with all the bars and places to drink here, I think all those people would want hot dogs or something to eat. So I always thought that would be kind of fun to do, but you don't really see that type of stuff here. Like, occasionally you get a, what does he have? I don't even know what it is that shows up over here when they're doing like outdoor stuff, but I don't know what it is. Like, is it, it's not a taco place, but it's like a little food truck that he gets a permit to come out here every now and then. But I'm not sure. I think that lady, I was waiting for her to go by, but she was stopping because she thought I was going to go across. And I'm just standing there. I was even off the thing, so I wasn't even like showing that I was going to go across or anything. So I don't know what. Like, so it was kind of an awkward moment there. Whatever. Because nothing else, like food places, are open that late at night. So I think, of course, probably, I bet you the city you know, some of the things I always talk about with the city. Probably wouldn't even let you get a permit to have anything like that late at night. I think the only place that's open, which isn't too far away from here, late at night, and that's because they're always famous for it. Hey, we hit 13, good. That was a slow mile though, because I kept stopping to let traffic go by. But it's what they're famous for, I guess what I was trying to say is the pita pit, which is only like a block up the street here. I mean, they're famous for that kind of stuff. Or that's like the thing they're known for is being open late just for the bar scene. That and Taco Bell. Okay. Not a bad run. I was hoping it would be closer to the 15-mile mark, and I could have. I mean, in retrospect, I could have easily done another lap around Centennial Park, which would have put me at the probably close to the 15-mile mark. But it is what it is. I'm sure I'll probably still, even though I was hoping to not have to run tonight, I'll probably want to. So, oh man, we'll see how my legs are feeling, because yesterday they were a little crampy after I got done, because you guys weren't on anymore. Whatever. Anyways, that's going to be it for this morning. There's a lot of commotion going on up here by the crane, so I'm just looking at it. It's going to be it for this morning's run. If you're on Kick, please smash that follow button if you haven't already. Again, apologies since I can't read your chats. If you're on YouTube, please smash that subscribe button. And then, after you do that, come on over to Twitch and smash that follow button. If you have a free Prime sub that you're not using, because a lot of people don't even know about it, hit that. If you have your Twitch account linked to your Amazon Prime account, you can hit the little purple button for subbing on Twitch, and there's a little thing there that says use your free Prime sub. It doesn't cost you anything, but it helps me out a lot. Please hit that, and then yeah, I think that's about it. So tomorrow's going to be my long run day. What if we did not necessarily like a subathon, but we did a follower-a-thon tomorrow? Those don't usually work because it's in the middle of the week. But I could turn my long run into that. I wouldn't be just going out and getting a long run, because I don't need a long run, I just need a lot of miles. Because if I was later on in the training block, then yeah, I needed to have one long continuous run. But I could do like 2 10-mile runs or something to get 20 miles. Not a big deal. But so maybe we'll do that tomorrow. Maybe we will actually do that tomorrow. But that's going to be it for this morning. Please follow me on my socials as well. And I will see you guys either tonight or tomorrow morning. Bye, everybody. I love y'all.